Hello everyone, I'm Sergey Lemisov, the unstoppable challenge seeker with multidisciplinary experience in product and brand development. My passion lies in developing aesthetically pleasing products and brands that benefit people while not harming the planet. I'm a T-shaped professional with three primary skills: empathy, analytics, and creativity. My approach is based on deep dives into human needs and on providing appropriate strategic and creative solutions that help both the consumer and the business. My perfect way of working is to combine the empathy stage of the project and deep analytical work. First, I communicate with stakeholders to understand the business, marketing, brand, and communication goals. Next, I interview the target audience segments to find deep customer insights. I empower those insights with up-to-date consumer trends and quantitative research. After, I go to analytical work and understand the gaps and the contradictions between business vision and customers' needs. I also compare competitors' products, brand positioning, and communication with real customers' need to show the client who most meets consumers' expectations. Then I present conclusions and suggest solutions. I build a bridge that connects business needs and consumer expectations with a profit on all sides. I prefer to test the solutions, for example, brand positioning hypotheses or package concepts, on target audience segments. And that gives a team and a client an understanding of what idea will work better with the chosen target audience segment. Finally, I make a plan of action to show the client a whole picture of the steps we need to implement together. And of course, I present step-by-step results for the team and the client during the whole process, because in my opinion, the project's success must involve all participants. I hope you've mentioned that I already told you my mission, core message, functional benefits, and approach in the above. And now it's time to show you that all words that I told you before are the truth. That's what my personal brand platform looks like. So you can see all the parts I use when I build consumer, employer, geographic, or even personal brands. But I also included my disadvantages because, in my opinion, it's honest and it helped to clarify, first of all for myself, what type of corporate culture doesn't suit me. Okay, now let's move straight to the reasons to believe section. There is a case studies point following after approach point, and in the rest of the video I'm going to show you my two significant case studies, which I hope will help you understand my way of thinking and make conclusions. Most of my case studies include not only strategic but also creative and design works. And let me start with a work which my colleague Eugenia and I made for the Children's Playful Learning Center. I love that case because it clearly shows how a big brand idea based on customer insights can influence the business model and the business owner's way of thinking. So in 2015, one of my partner's clients, Elena, decided to create a socially significant project in Kazan city. She was very inspired by Kidzania, the model which has proven its viability thanks to its success worldwide. Kidzania is an interactive city made for children that combines inspiration, fun, and learning through a realistic role play. Such an entertainment and educational center is a city consisting of different stations, like a fire station, a police station, and a post office, and many others. At these stations, children take various master classes and do practical work for the city, for example, cleaning up trash. In return, they get toy money, which they can spend on toys at the local store. But Elena didn't want to copy that brand and its model. She said, "I want to make it better. Please help me with customer experience research and figure out what I can do to improve it." So we started our work by analyzing big international companies and local brands. We realized that all direct competitors of Kidzania are just copies of it. Both business models and communication were almost identical. And this was a perfect sign, because differentiating positioning allowed us to dissociate from our competitors. We identified two territories of positioning on which competitors were based: game and education. After analyzing the competitors, we moved on to customer experience research. We observed the behavior of parents and their children, studied the behavior of the staff, and determined the main points of interactions between brands and consumers. As a result of observation, we understood that the set of scenarios and master classes in all centers are minimal, and after a while, children get bored. Moreover, children were not understanding what to do with their money. They could be exchanged for some gifts, but for some reason, children lose their motivation too fast. After talking to both parents and children, we learned that such a system does not encourage parents and their children to visit such centers repeatedly. Children were uninspired by the monetary incentive system. We found that the principal value for children in playful learning format centers is getting experiences, not getting paid. We discovered the central brand insight. Adult life, its rules and regulations limit and truncate the child's whole personality, boundless imagination and possibilities. We realized that children's spontaneity and purity already contain value and potential. And often, children offer non-trivial solutions to adult problems. This inspired us to formulate the big brand idea. By getting experiences from children, we can bring their ideas into the real world. We realized that none of our competitors consider that children can observe and create their world, not play by adults' rules. KidSpace probably built its strategy on the following insight: children act like grown-ups in everything and want to be like them. The implementation of this strategy is that KidSpace immerses children in a game with adult rules, including an adult money system. We decided it was necessary to build the positioning and business model based on the fact that children see the adult world's flaws and want to change them rather than live by established rules. So on the screen you can see the simple brand platform and main points like a core message, brand values, brand character, and reasons to believe. After brand platform development, we wrote down 7 critical points, the implementation of which was necessary. As a result of playing at the center, children learn about adult life and change it according to their own rules. We don't change the child to suit the world. We teach the child to change the world because thinking without restrictions is the main agent of the progress. We abandoned the money system to motivate children, but we kept the bank station for teaching children financial awareness. The bank is just another station, a copy of the adult model, which children can also change. The children's primary motivation is to constantly fantasize and create something new so that the whole town will know about it through the main communication channels. An additional source of income for the business can be a parenting school, where qualified psychologists tell parents about the most progressive approaches to raising children. We also proposed to expand the businesses and create new areas: children's developmental summer camps, teenagers clubs, and educational toys production. Since the activity stations for such centers are built by partners' brands, we suggested going a step further and involving children in solving the business problems of these brands. For example, a supermarket chain needs to improve the children's experience in its stores. A brand at its station organizes several strategy sessions with several groups of kids and conducts research. Or a brand might brainstorm about new product development. After the strategic stage and improving the business model, our partner Vladimir Trinos came up with the name KidSpace and developed a visual identity. Let's look at a few pages from the brand book. After the visual identity stage, new children's center had to be promoted, and a new advertising campaign had to be launched. Any good advertising campaign is based on a solid communication strategy. Eugenia and I analyzed our competitors' communication channels and messages and developed 4 parts of messages based on our brand strategy. The main message was "Here, children create and rule." Brand values messages were "No limits for your fantasy and no rules for your dreams." And here we showed Pierre Diaz's words as a visual example. We also showed the famous "Dirt is Good" advertising campaign. To demonstrate brand benefits on an emotional level, we used the message "Dreams change the world." We collected the dreams from children's research and selected relevant pictures to demonstrate the idea. It's also essential to mention an insight connected to the promotion plan. During our research, we found out that school children, unlike preschoolers, significantly influence their parents when deciding their leisure time. That's why we decided to focus our communication campaign on the target audience of children. We used a full range of offline and online channels, but I want to mention 2 significant ones. First is co-branding and product placement with sponsoring companies. For example, children's cars in the city supermarkets, like those in KidSpace itself. And the second is the YouTube video production station, where children are taught how to shoot videos, make their channel effective, promote videos better, and many other things. Thus, kids started to promote the KidSpace brand on YouTube by making their first videos using branded KidSpace appearances and merch. Finishing talking about that case study, I'm going to talk about the impact that we made. There were 2 primary effects of our work. First is connected with the business owner's mindset. They were impressed with our insights, which influenced even their daughters. Because, for example, Elena and her husband stopped imposing adult opinions, started to listen more to their children, and even asked for tips on household and business issues. And also, they bravely implemented our findings in their kids center, making it the best place for children in the Tatarstan region. So far, the center is visited by flight buses full of kids from the region's small towns. And the second impact concerns children's future in Kazan and this city's satellites. Because their parents visiting the center were inspired by the brand philosophy, they started to change their parenting approach. And I'm delighted that thousands of kids will be raised in a more friendly and free environment. And also, I hope that kids' feedback on business problems will help to improve their services and people's quality of life. The second case study that I want to highlight, I implemented when I was working in-house for a big FMCG company from the Saratov region. So, a 2-year contract started in 2017, under which I was responsible for building an innovative brand team and launch new products. Company's significant business was meat processing, but logistics allowed them to produce and deliver products with short shelf life, like dairy and plant-based products, for example, fresh salad mixes. The company already had a plant-based product production and was going to try to launch a dairy private label. So I was assigned 5 main tasks. First, determine the potential of a plant-based category and detect what products are the most attractive and for what target audience segments. Second, research the current plant-based brand to understand its target audience segment perception and develop an up-to-date brand strategy, packaging design, and go-to-market plan. Third, identify the most attractive set of dairy products, conduct consumer research, and develop a brand strategy, packaging design, and go-to-market plan. And finally, run an employer brand diagnostics, develop an appropriate employer brand positioning, and launch young talents internships that will bring promising specialists into the company. As always, I started from the general and moved to the specific. I asked myself, what action would influence most tasks from the start, and found two main paths: creating an effective team and understanding global and local FMCG trends. I understood that I needed the most help with research because I had two product categories and an employer brand, so I asked an HR department to find a research professional to take over some of the work. I didn't want to hire any research agency because I wanted to create and empower research competencies inside the business to keep a pulse on our customers' needs. Because I wanted to get closer to the target audience, I decided to communicate with people personally to feel their needs better. At first, I needed a helicopter view to understand how families in different regions of Russia consume food. I chose mobile ethnography as a method to solve that challenge. I picked the most economically developed regions and advertised to local groups on social networks with invitations to participate in the research. Fortunately, right then the HR department found an ex-Ipsos researcher, Dmitry, and he accepted my offer to join my team. So we selected 35 families from different regions and gave them a task. They must share all information about their food purchases and consumption, including cooking, for the whole week. We used WhatsApp Messenger to share all information and to ask clarifying questions. So when the research was done, we had a massive amount of data with customer insights, not only in interesting for us categories, but also in adjacent product categories. Also, I added to the conclusions some global FMCG research reviews. Eventually, our stakeholders were satisfied with our work and were waiting for our research to continue. We discussed with the CEO what project had the highest priority, and we decided to start moving more intensively with the plant-based category. I took the following steps. First, to understand deeper worldwide plant-based category trends, I hired one of the best Russian vegan chefs, Ivan Dubkov. And after 2 weeks of work, he provided a comprehensive report which helped us find future product development directions. And also, we make an agreement about the new salad kits recipe development. Second, with Dmitry, we also started interviewing target audience segments to get more specific customer insights. And after we finished, I had complete information: customer drivers and barriers depending on target audience segment, product, branding, and communication customer insights. I decided to focus the plant-based brand on the largest segment, which I named Active City Dwellers. The central insight of that segment sounded like that: urban life is a constant stress and lack of time. I often eat fast food on the go or after work. It would be nice to eat fast and delicious, but without harm to health. So the brand answer and core message sounded like that. Scoro, it's the name of the brand, helps to eat tasty, healthy, and quickly. It may sound strange in English, but the sense was that our brand allows people to eat delicious, healthy food and saves time that people can spend on any activities instead of cooking. And Scoro in Russian means something like soon, quickly, and fast, so that name is associated with time saving. So here is what the brand platform finally looked like. After that work, I developed a go-to-market plan and started the package development with my colleague and graphic designer Vladimir Trinos. We created a bunch of package concepts and tested them on the target audience to choose the most suitable one. Also, we tested new brand names like Green Brothers, Green Heroes, Macroplan and others to ensure that the current brand name fits best with our brand platform. Every package had its focus. For example, Green Brothers concept was about farming. Macroplan was aimed at functional benefits like vitamins and micronutrients. Green Heroes concept mirrors the target audience, active city dwellers. Zelny concept was playing on the contrast between old traditions and modern culture. Actually, we were testing more than 5 brands on purpose to confirm our brand positioning hypothesis. Finally, we proved by research that the current brand name suits the best, and this minimalistic state-of-the-art design wins. In parallel with this massive process, we introduced minor improvements to our current product lines, changing the SKU amount and recipes that positively impacted sales. My team grew by hiring a project manager, graphic designer, and Scoro brand manager. But the company as a whole experienced huge problems with hiring qualified professionals. In collaboration with the HR department, Dmitry and I did huge internal research to understand what is going on with corporate culture and what challenges our 2,500 employees faced. Also, we researched employer brand perception among candidates. The work resulted in an understanding of the strengths and weaknesses of our corporate culture and employer brand. HR department and I made a plan of changes that we have implemented step by step over the year. We changed some obsolete rules and regulations and the company felt freer. I created a new employer brand positioning, and with my team we developed a new corporate brand name and made a new corporate visual identity. My department was guiding many activities like an internship program and most of the corporate events. If you are interested more in that employer brand project, I will tell you all details. And now I want to very quickly show the results of the third project in the wake of my work in this company. So, as you remember, the third stream was dairy private label development. With the director of this branch, we identified the most attractive category, semi-hard cheese. Our customer research scheme has already been worked out, so Dmitry and I have completed this work. Here are some insights that I want to share. In the vast majority, semi-hard cheese in Russia is consumed for breakfast, so we understood that the brand should somehow be connected with that area. Also, we've developed that consumers prefer delicate, creamy taste, and that product energizes them and saves cooking time in the morning. The central consumer insight sounded like, I have to make a full breakfast in the morning, but I don't have any time for that. So I've started strategic work and created a brand positioning. Quick, tasty, energized, and invigorating breakfast for the whole family. So the slogan was energy for the whole day, and that's how the entire brand platform looked like. After that, I created the brand name GoodMonica, and it was formed from Good Morning. So after that, I started my art direction work. As a result, we had one ideal fit for a brand platform design packaging concept with 3 variations. The first is minimalistic. You can see a logo, a milk splash, and ingredients there. Second, with a sandwich photo, and third, with a cute mascot. We tested those concepts with a target audience, and the third concept with a mascot caused so many positive emotions that I understood we hit the mark. I also saw enormous potential in communications with that mascot because we could change their appearance depending on the situation. Finally, we found a perfect manufacturer, finished our packaging design, and launched the product. So, talking about my experience in Integra FMCG company, I can say that I loved all the challenges my team and I faced. I was creating new frameworks right on the go and implementing them very fast. Sometimes things were going wrong. For example, we spent more than 3 months on Scoro packaging design and testing because I had a lack of experience in design management processes. But it was a very important lesson for me, as a result of which I went to study graphic design, lettering and art direction. And now I understand much more to do that kind of job perfectly. Look at the visual identity I've developed based on my brand strategy for a construction supplies dealer. I've positioned the brand as a dealer with humane services. This is all I've prepared for you for today, but I have more than 20 case studies from various industries, so we can discuss more of them later. My main advantage is that I can create a perfect experience in developing products and brands for your team and your clients. My long-term goal is to work with all human senses: sight, hearing, touch, smell and taste, and create better human experiences and better branding that touches human hearts. Thank you very much for your attention. I'm open to any test task and ready to invest my time to execute it. Hope to see you soon. Bye!